Hello, welcome back everyone. Once again, this is Aluminum Tarot. Thanks so much for joining today. We're going to do, last but not least, certainly, the sign of Gemini for September 2024. We're going to talk about a little bit of the order of the day, which is normally the usual message I give. So if you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding that notification bell, comment below in the description box or in the comment box. And so that way, you can give support to the channel. That's really, doesn't cost a thing. It's pretty free and it helps out immensely. I've seen lots of growth and lots of traffic over the last few months related to, this channel. And I'm really, really thankful to everyone who has joined in on that. It means the world to me, and I'm glad that things are starting to look on the up. It also lets me know that, you resonate with this channel, that I'm on the right track with a lot of the deliveries of these readings. So the other thing is, if you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell. Did I already say that? Yeah, the other thing is, if you like a personal reading with me, sorry, we're getting out of this shadow period, Mercury retrograde, so my brain's all over the place. If you like what you see here and you would like a personal reading with me, one that is in tune with your specific energies, please be sure to, get in contact with me with the Google Forms document included in the description box and the profile for the channel. So basically, what happened is I had an issue where I wasn't receiving notifications from the Google Docs form. So it was a bit of a snafu in the beginning. However, that has been resolved and that's going to get delivered straight to me. So I know exactly when people are booking something on, and I can get that out there as soon as possible and get it done in a timely manner. That said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to begin with some of the things that we need to talk about in the celestial activities. So first off, we have Pluto around the 28th or 29th degree right now in retrograde, which is basically dipping back into the sign of Capricorn, which indicates a lot of changes, upheavals, restructurings related to politics and things of a socioeconomic nature. So anything dealing with the economy. We see the presidential debates taking place at the moment. And I did a reading on that, so you can check that out in the profile, about who would likely become president. So hopefully, well, we'll see rather how accurate that was, because there's a lot of divisive kind of things about polls and whatnot. I don't trust polls, honestly, when it comes to that, because when the people vote, it's usually the opposite anyway. So whoever the polls say is going to win from mainstream media, I normally just go with the opposite person. That said, we're going to look into Mercury going direct, progressing from the sign of Leo into the sign of Virgo, which is going to give a lot more clarity to the way people speak and communicate with each other. It's also going to allow people to get focused on things that are prioritized in their life, like their health, their finances, things of that nature. It will give people the opportunity to speak more about opportunities coming into the life that will allow them to progress on a material level. So anything of a pragmatic nature where you have to do a lot of a lot of task mastering. When I say the word double, I'm thinking about the Two of Pentacles, juggling a lot of different practical things in your life in order to make ends meet or to make things work. That's what that's going to insinuate as well. Finally, we do talk about Mercury in Pisces, well, Neptune in Pisces rather, still making its slog through that sign, and then hopefully into a better, scenario with that. Because what it does is it leaves a lot of fear, like what they call FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That's normally a term that they use in cryptocurrency or like in the markets, things of that nature, which is now coming to roost in astrology as well. So Neptune in Pisces is the quintessential way that we look at fear, uncertainty, and doubt, because it's so nebulous. It's so difficult to understand or to define in its current manifestation. So that said, we're going to move on. We're going to talk a little bit more about, oh yeah, there is one other thing. There will soon be a full moon in Pisces. If I'm not mistaken, it's either an eclipse in Pisces or a full moon in Pisces. Don't quote me on that. But it's in the sign of Pisces. That will take place next week, somewhere around the 18th, the 17th or the 18th. And that's going to kind of give us a major shift in our perspectives by getting us fully engrossed in our intuitive faculties and being able to see things for what they are delivered to us from the divine itself. So, that said, we move on. We're going to do the last reading for today. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of September 2024. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of September 2024. What's taking place for Gemini for the month of September 2024? Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For the month of September 2024. It's already nearly midway into September. Weather's getting colder. Soon we'll be celebrating Halloween. Then after that, we'll be celebrating Christmas time. And then 2024 will be a thing of the past. I cannot believe how quickly this year has flown by. It's almost like I was spending time with family in January, and then I woke up, and it's almost time to go, visit back in, in my home country. My home country is the United States, but I'm a dual national. So basically I'm UK and US. And, ping-ponging between the two of those countries every now and then. It gives you shifts and perspectives on the way each country does its own thing. So I guess it's a little clue into my life. Probably the reason why I have this weird accent anyway. But it's kind of one of those Gemini themes, having the twins. My life, I have a Mercury in Gemini, which amounts to some significant levels of ADHD, as it's also opposite my Uranus in the first house, I've found out using whole sign astrology. And additionally, when you have kind of like a double life, it almost seems, you think about your life in the United States, it's more like kind of like the past life, and then the future life being born is the one in the UK. So it gives me a lot of perspective on that. And plus living abroad for so long and living in so many different countries, you always feel like you're living in places to learn about them and to internalize a lot of those things. And that's really what Gemini is all about. So that said, maybe I'll give a waffle on that a bit later on, but right now, let's get to work. Gemini, what's your current energy? Queen of Swords. We got that for another sign. So that was for the sign of Cancer. What's the challenge? What's the challenge? Oof. Okay. So two major arcana cards, Sun in the reverse and the World. We have in the recent past. What happened in the recent past? What happened in the recent past, Spirit? Two of Cups in the reverse. What's happening in the near future? Now, Wands in the reverse. Is that the core? Seven of Pentacles. Is that the Crown? Emperor. What is the signifier for all of this? Three of Cups. Reconciliation. What is the likely outcome? What is the likely outcome? Empress, Nine of Swords in the reverse. What is the penultimate outcome, the very final outcome? Okay, King of Wands, good sign. We'll leave it at that. So we have at the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Wands, which is harmony and balance in your actions. Basically, your actions paying off, being reciprocated. So we have the Three of Wands, which is waiting for your ships to come in, times 2. That's the 6, that's the harmony, allowing your ships to come in, being able to celebrate that. I always tell people, and I had a conversation about this with some of my my occultic brethren, basically. And we talked about the Six of Wands being between the Five of Wands and the Seven of Wands, both which deal with conflict. The Five of Wands is about fighting for your position. 6 is celebrating it. 7 is defending it. And so you're finally in a stage where you're kind of in the eye of the storm of everything that you have accomplished to date. And the Six of Wands also is kind of a warning not to rest on your own laurels. So once you get to a period where you can celebrate and you receive the victory that you've been looking for, it's then time to move into the Seven of Wands, which means defending your position against other people, which then leads to the Eight of Wands. So what we have here right now in the middle, we have the Queen of Swords, which talks a lot about people who are quite cutting, rude, nasty, disgusting, despicable people when it comes to their communication style. Being bitter, hostile about things that happened in the past. Because the Queen of Swords looks to the left, not to the right, which is the future. And so maybe you or someone that you know, because this does indicate a person of feminine energy, not necessarily male or female, but it's a person with feminine qualities that has been looking towards the past and being very bitter and angry about that. Now, what we see here as the challenge here, we have the World and the Sun in the reverse. So it's like you want to close out something, you want to close out a cycle within your life, but it's a bit difficult to understand exactly how to do that. Because with the World, that means you're leveling up, you're getting to a new position in your life. This could be work, this could actually be in a relationship. However, it applies to all the Geminis that are going to look at this reading. It's going to resonate differently for each of you. I always stress that in these readings. Because what we have here with the Sun in the reverse, there's usually a very positive card in the deck, but when it's in the reverse, it indicates a lack of clarity, a lack of vitality. It's almost like you're struggling to get to that apex in your life, where you're trying to level up and get to a better position where things are, much better off. You can increase your wealth. You can get to the next stage in your career. You can get married, things of that nature. It's almost like a difficult slog because this Sun is also your vitality, your health, your wellness as well. When we look at the signifier, I think it's important that we clarify that. What is the signifier? Clarify the signifier. Temperance in the reverse. And then 4 cards want to jump out and join the battle. So, okay. Temperance to the Tower, Queen of Cups reverse to the Ten of Wands. So if I had just had to look at this intuitively and see how this relates to your reading, what it talks about using your support networks to create some, to get back into balance, because it's not always just about partying, drinking, going out and celebrating your life. It instinctively talks about, because when you have the Temperance reverse in the Tower, something really, really fucked up has happened in your past. And what that says is that this Tower moment has knocked you off balance, and it has created a lack of equilibrium in your personal life. So if you've lost a job, if you've divorced, if you've separated from people that you love, like friends and family, this would be a reading that resonates with you. And additionally, if you have the Queen of Cups in the reverse, which talks about a lack of boundaries that you have been dealing with, and then also a Ten of Wands, this is kind of like a person who has been burdened by the inability to get balance in the way they relate to other people, because with the Queen of Cups in the upright, she's able to protect the chalice that she's reflecting on, which is her emotions, her heart that she gives to other people. In the reverse, it shows that that cup has spilt out and that people are just using her heart for a game of football or like, for dinner or lunch. It's like they're not treating her heart with the respect that it needs because she has allowed it to slip out of her chalice, being in the reverse. So when we look at what happened in the recent past, we talk about the Two of Pentacles, Two of Cups. Sorry, clarify the Two of Cups. Clarify the Two of Cups. Page of Wands in the reverse, and no, I'm not going to take all them cards. Clarify the Two of Cups in the reverse. Right, strength. Page of Wands in the verse, strength. Holding back, trying to keep your wits about you, tame the beast within. You feel yourself disconnecting from whatever this horrible situation was. And we then look at the strength card, which talks about being able to hold it all together, not allowing your fears, insecurities, and doubts to overpower you. And so the person in the original Rider-Waite tarot is essentially holding the mouth of the beast, the lion representing those fears, doubts, uncertainty, FUD, as I call it, which is also the term in cryptocurrency. The mouth is the main thing, is the main way that we tend to hurt people. So we can speak about things, lions can bite, but they can all, it can also represent words that are not spoken in the best of intentions. So, for example, with this, in a relationship where you're with some other person, it can represent, if it's a romantic relationship, someone just kind of sapping your energy. You're trying to hold it together, keep yourself strong in a situation where you know that you're disconnecting from someone. In a work situation, it's you going through the daily slog of everything, and you find that your work is not paying off, you're not getting promoted, you're not going in any different direction, you may have lost your job, and you're holding it together even though you just don't really feel it. And that's what I'm getting from this Page of Wands in the reverse, which is loss of interest in something. Page of Wands in the upright is having a keen interest on something and setting forth to go meet that. Two of Cups in the reverse also talks about losing interest in something in which normally you would have a strong passion towards. So the strength, it's like holding yourself together, not letting all the fears, doubt, and uncertainty overpower you. However, in the near future, Gemini might kick it up a bit. You have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Clarify the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Three of Cups has come out again. Chariot in the reverse has come out multiple times today in today's readings. So you have, again, the higher echelon of the Two of Cups now being expressed as the Lovers, the Chariot, and the Three of Cups, this time in the reverse. So what we have here is a situation where the Knight of Wands shows a bit of aimlessness and directionlessness. And it's taken from your emotional center with the Two of Cups in the reverse being detached, which is kind of a Gemini quality when it's necessary. Moving into the Knight of Wands in the reverse, which is about being completely aimless and not knowing where the fuck to go or what to do in your life. And this is clarified by two major arcanas. In the past, you had one major arcana, which was strength, and this one is the Lovers and Chariot. So the Lovers is your card, Gemini, in which you have to make a choice, a head over heart decision. It may be difficult for you to do that at this particular point. The Chariot in the reverse being a lack of forward progress and development or movement. And then the Three of Cups in the reverse. Now, the Three of Cups in reverse can mean several things. It can talk about someone who has been unfaithful, yes, someone cheated on you, blah, blah, blah. But it can also talk about co-conspirators. So it's people what you're looking for as a signifier, you're looking for people to work with you, to help you through this difficult period that you've been going through with the Temperance that's reversed and the Tower, the Queen of Cups in the reverse, and the Ten of Wands. In the near future, you find that there are co-conspirators working against you, plotting against you, which is the Three of Cups in the reverse. It's almost like you think you look at like people in the office. What's the golden rule of working in an office, a major place of employment? No one there is your friend. Fuck your friends. They don't exist in the office place. Someone will go back and tell HR you've said something. Your boss will find out how you really feel about it. You've got spies, you've got liars all over the place. It's really a power dynamic. It's a power struggle dynamic when you work in an office. And that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. Lovers in the reverse means you're disconnecting and detaching from something. You're refusing to make a decision as well, or you just don't feel like making it. Chariot in the reverse, things coming to a halt. Three of Cups in the reverse. All of these cards are in the reverse, meaning that it's like, this is dead, done, and over with. Lovers in the reverse, you're disconnecting. Chariot in the reverse, you're stopping all movement. Three in the Cups in the reverse, you're no longer, it's like the party's completely fucking over in all of this. Knight of Wands, I'd rather be anywhere else but here. It's not making a concerted effort to explore something. It's either putting the brakes on everything or completely saying to yourself, I cannot do this. I'm not making any forward action. This can also be the player card in some ways, but I don't see that in this particular one. I see this as someone who doesn't know where to go because all around them they feel like they have been kind of screwed over by a lot of people. And it's not, for me, what I would say is like, you never know when you get knocked off your high horse, you get knocked off of a horse, off your horse. It's almost like you have this struggle of picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, and moving forward again. Knight of Wands can also, signify someone who is moving in the wrong direction and whose path that they have taken isn't really yielding any results. Is this the Gemini in question, or is this someone else? Is this Gemini upright? Someone else reverse. Gemini upright, someone else reverse. This could be a fire sign that you're dealing with. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse says it's someone else, and it's potentially someone else who's financially dependent on you. So say, for example, you've fallen out of love with someone, and then you move forward. This person that you're dealing with is bringing this relationship to a head by just going out there and acting like a complete thought. They could be going around flirting with new people because they're codependent on relationships. And the one thing about it is that when someone is codependent, they don't see their own value. They extract that value from someone else. So that even works in the business world. When business people tend to focus only on the profits and the money, they're getting that money from other people, meaning that they're unable to really produce that value themselves. And so it's a parasitic relationship. I'm not going to get into political theory or economy that much right now, but I'm under the impression after this relationship disconnected, with the Page of Wands in the reverse and the Two of Cups, it went to a standstill, and then finally it just kind of collapses. Everything collapses in the future. It's like the Strength card, which shows that you are resolutely trying to hold something up and to keep something from falling apart. It falls apart in the future. Knight of Wands reverse, Lovers reverse, Chariot reverse, Three of Cups reverse, Nine of Pentacles reverse. Everything just collapses. And that's that Tower moment that you see here. We then go into some of the other important aspects. What's at the core of the relationship? We have the Seven of Pentacles also in the reverse. Tell me more about the Seven of Pentacles. Star. And what else? We have the Devil in the reverse and the Four of Cups. So you realize that after this Tower moment comes the Star. The Star is the guiding force that allows you to heal, recover, recuperate after this horrible shit show that takes place in your life. You're releasing the Devil energy here with the Devil in the reverse. You're rejecting it. So whoever you're dealing with, you're rejecting their devilish energy. It could be a Capricorn, for example. It could be another person that's in Aries. You have Capricorn. You have Gemini, which is you. Chariot, which is Cancer. Then we have a Libra here as well. We have a lot of people here indicated by cups. We have Temperance as well, which is Sagittarius, Tower, Aries, and Scorpio. So any of those signs could potentially ring a bell and relate to your situation. But in all of this, you're asking yourself, is this really worth it? The Seven of Pentacles normally reflects and evaluates what they have been working hard towards in the material world. So with the Star reverse, it's like, I'm looking towards something better. I'm looking for something that can bring me hope in the near future. By resisting this negative toxicity, purging myself of that, and then finally rejecting it, moving on forward. The Star is the guidance card, similar to the Hermit. The Hermit holds the star in his lantern and uses it to guide himself out of a dark and difficult place, representing the dark night of the soul, which is something that Carl Jung talks quite a bit about, and others as well. In the top, we have the Emperor, and the Emperor is normally one of two people. Clarify the Emperor. Okay, full Knight of Swords. The Emperor can be a boss. The Emperor could be you as well, stepping into your power and trying to take control of your life. And I see this with the Fool and the Nine of Swords representing you being forced now to step into your power, your energy that is going to allow you to take control. The Emperor rules over nearly everything, the male energy that rules everything, along with the Empress, which is shown in your likely outcome. So ironically here, you have the Emperor, the Nine of Swords, and the Fool. You have the Empress, the Nine of Swords in the reverse. So it's a balancing of those two energies in your capacity to be in control of your life. Emperor and the Empress are complementary forces. These forces I see happening within yourself. You're no longer allowing people from the past to dictate what happens with you. If, for example, you were dealing with a codependent relationship and that leads to a Tower moment, it's like, okay, I have to take responsibility in my role in this taking place. And then I need to man, woman up, whatever you want to call it, and then move forward into the future. Now, we then have the Empress in the upright, Nine of Swords in the reverse. Clarify the Empress. Page of Pentacles. Clarify the Nine of Swords. Got the Knight of Wands again, and the Four of Wands. So what it's asking you to do is, as you begin to take authority in your life, it is important that firstly you become pragmatically centered around that which is going to build you up, that will bring you your abundance. So say, for example, you're leaving work, you're leaving a relationship. What are the practical steps that you need to take to move from this minor earth energy, which is the Page of Pentacles, the small seed that's taken, and then used to communicate truths like getting a new job, getting a new, learning a new skill, trade, something like that, or even just communicating the facts to someone that you love, moving you into this Empress energy. So it's a long trek that you'll need to take, moving from the Page of Pentacles into the Empress, which is Taurus Libra, which also represents that Pentacle energy in its highest manifestation. With the Nine of Swords in the reverse, you have the Knight of Wands in the reverse, 10 of Wands in the 4 of Wands in the upright. We get a double card, which is often happening in all the readings I've done for this month of September. Knight of Wands says two things. Don't run back to the past, and two, know where you're going in the future. Because if you run blindly into something, it will trip you up. You will fall off your horse, and you will have to dust yourself off and move forward, after making a lot of progress and gains from the past. But you are trying to move towards your 4 of Wands, which is a celebration, a kind of movement into a more positive period in which you are really working hard towards a milestone in your life, a new milestone, a new place to exist, a new chapter in your life. As you do that, make sure that you're firmly grounded when you do so, and then you can avoid a lot of the headache, the heartache that would come with making poor choices in the future. Not saying that you've done so in the past, but it could indicate that in the course of whatever it is that you gave your energy to, and I've said this with Cancer, and I've said this with Aquarius as well. Make sure that you empower yourself to move towards that which is going to build yourself in a healthy and positive way. You do not need externalities to really do that. It's important for you to actually realize your own power, your own worth in all of this. So, for example, we also talk about the King of Wands, which is the ultimate outcome. Clarify the King of Wands. What the hell? Okay, so we get the 4 of Swords in the reverse again. And where do we have that here? We had it in one person's reading. I think it was the reading I just did. It was in Cancer. Well, they had the 4 of Swords reverse. Clarify the King of Wands again. Okay. So, for some reason, I want to take these in the upright. King of Wands, 4 of King of Wands, clarified by the King of Pentacles and the 4 of Swords. So we have the 4 of Swords. That talks a lot about someone who is reflecting on the 3 of Swords from the past that are hanging above the person, and then the Ace of Swords underneath them, which is the clarity that they receive on that. You are the King of Pentacles, who is reflecting on these things from the mistakes that you have made in the past, which have led you to having to start all over again in the future. With this, the King of Wands is a person who takes authority and ownership of their actions, actions being the wands. And for this, you see the salamander moving at the bottom of the card here, and that kind of insinuates not being able to be touched by the heat that comes along with setting out and being in your own adventure. Now, the King of Wands is one of the first wands of the deck, being a fire element, which initiates things. And so that's what you're going to be doing. Once you move away from this Knight of Wands in the reverse energy and you get clarity, you can then move towards the future by reflecting on the past. And this is something that I talk about with the Sankofa symbolism. If you look at the salamanders here, you can see that they're moving in a circular fashion. They're kind of like the Ouroboros, which is the the serpent eating its own tail, in this case, the salamander. But also, it talks about there being a continuous cycle of looking back to see where we have gone wrong so that we can move forward in the future, to celebrate the past in order to move forward to the present and the future. By doing that, you will be able to take ownership of your actions. With the King of Pentacles in the upright, the Four of Swords in the upright, what I see here is that in order for you to build your abundance in the future, which the King of Pentacles celebrates, you're going to need to make sure that you are rested, you're balanced, because the 4 is kind of similar to the 11-11 card of the Four of Wands, which it's being able to move intellectually into a new period of your life in which things are a bit more balanced. And that's precisely what was happening here with the Temperance after this Tower moment. The Temperance wants you to get balanced after a period of imbalance. And so what you're doing in the future is moving towards that and, exuding those qualities. So we're going to say, for example, workplace, you would finally become more of an entrepreneurial type person where you're able to kind of set your own schedule, do your own thing, be in control of your own destiny. Taking breaks between times in which you need to do so that way you don't burn yourself out, King of Wands included. If this is a love relationship, you're setting yourself out there. You may go try dating a little bit, but more than anything, I kind of see you becoming stable in your own life, moving away from kind of the this detachment. All of this is all about detachment and not wanting to be a part of this life that you built with someone else or with a company, and moving into a period where you are more independent on your own. The King of Pentacles, the King of Wands are very independent creatures. The Empress is also very independent. The Emperor is definitely. These two are at the center of the entire universe anyway. What is the advice to give to Gemini friends? What advice can we give to Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising. Come on now, Gemini, shuffle. All right. Okay. What advice can we give Gemini? Okay, so interesting. So the advice we say here is take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. And what did we talk about? Disseminating what needs to be done by learning from the past. I don't get the Hierophant energy here, but I strongly feel that vibe in here. And that also clarifies the Four of Swords, which is taking that break. As you move into the future to command, the next stages of your life after detaching and disconnecting from all of this chaos that you were involved in the past, make sure that you take time to breathe out. Make sure that you take the time to clarify what it is that you need to do. And also, remember that you are in control of your own destiny. And as you start speaking about the next stages in your life, your goals, your life goals, your ambitions, maybe if you want to start your own business, or maybe you want to get the job that you would like, or maybe if you want to find a more suitable life partner, maybe it's more important now for you to think about how you can build all of that yourself. Because again, the King of Wands is an entrepreneur. The King of Pentacles is the abundant one after giving that entrepreneurship. If you look at both of these kings, they're both holding something. King of Wands is holding this staff. This is the first action they take, clarified by the King of Pentacles, who is holding that pentacle, looking at it in the same way. And it's almost like this is in the young stages, and as time develops, it will go into the older stage. I'm not saying you're going to turn into like Jack Skellington per se, but you will over time begin to turn that wand into an actual pentacle. So that's what I'm getting from this reading. I hope this helps. Thanks so much. This has been Aluminum Tarot. Pretty good reading for you, Gemini. And I wish you all the best with that. Move away from the things that don't serve you, and get into your own energy so that way you can be more productive. Excuse me. So if you like what you see here in this reading, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding that notification bell, comment below so that you don't miss any updates from future postings. Additionally, if you would like a personal reading with me, one that is in tune with your specific energies, sorry, feel free to fill out the Google Docs form, and I'll be sure to get that back as soon as possible. Thanks again, and until next time, love and light.